to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia, and I am your host. Before we get into today's trip report with my friend Elizabeth, I did want to mention the recent natural disaster that Hawaii experienced. On March 10th, just 2 days before Elizabeth's trip, the first Kona low storm hit Hawaii and lasted for several days. Less than a week later, another Kona low was approaching, and the result of these two storms combined was the worst flooding Hawaii has seen in over 20 years. There are estimated to be at least $1 billion worth of damages. Please check out the show notes where I've linked to the Aloha United Way, a reputable place to donate to recovery efforts through their community relief fund. I hope that you will choose to donate if you are able, and I am sending all my good wishes to the people of Hawaii as they rebuild and to all the first responders who are helping those displaced families. Thanks, everyone, for listening. It is so important to remember that things like this can happen anywhere, whether it's a hurricane, a tornado, the wildfires that we have seen out west, and, so many other situations. And you never know when it will affect your own community. So it is critical to help support others during their time of need. Now, let's get to the reason you are here. I'd say it's to hear a pre-trip report about a vacation to Hawaii and specifically most likely to Aulani. But let's be real. You're here to hear Elizabeth, a repeat podcast guest who is a friend to all and a cherished member of my podcast family. To know her is to love her. Please welcome back, Elizabeth. Welcome back to Elizabeth.
Thanks so much, Virginia. I'm excited to be here.
I have to tell you, and I think I told you this the last time you were here too, you are an incredibly popular guest. People love you. And I don't mean just in that you get shout outs in reviews, but people tell me, and whenever I look at the stats, your stats like go higher than other people. So popular.
Thank you.
It's good to be popular.
No, thank you. Thank you, people. I love your show. I say this every time. I think your fan base is incredible. I think your other guests are incredible. And I just think Where I Long to Be is a really special space. And I'm glad that people listen to my shows because I'm just so grateful to be able to come back and share the magic of Disney. Mm-hmm. And this is a really unique one. So I'm super excited to share it with you guys.
It is a really unique one. So before we jump into all of that, just a quick rundown from you of who you are, how you came to love this world of Disney in particular, but just a little bit of your background and give us a sense of who you are.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth, and I am in the Omaha, Nebraska area. So in the middle of the United States and about 2.5 hours from Orlando, because we are big Walt Disney World fans. And it was in 2021, I believe, that my husband and I started taking our two young kids at the time. I think they were 4 and 6, Hope and Dean. And we went to Walt Disney World for the first time. We stayed at the boardwalk before it was renovated. We went to the parks before Lightning Lane or Genie Plus. So just a really unique time to visit the parks for the first time. And we just fell in love with Walt Disney World and have been taking them back ever since. And I'm a teacher here. So my schedule is a bit limited to like spring break and fall break and summer break when the parks are a little busier. But it most certainly has not deterred our enjoyment of every time we go.
Mm-hmm. And this is a spring break trip that you're taking, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So what is spring break for you? Because it's different in my area of the world, which it does not happen, I think, until Easter week because we get that February midwinter break.
Sure. And that makes a lot of sense. Our spring break here in our region is March 14th. To March 22nd. So we have a solid week in the middle of March, which is really nice. I teach high school, so we're all just kind of ready for a break at this time of year. In the middle of March is a good time for that. So I do get a full week, which I'm grateful for, and I only have to take one personal day on the other side of our travel since we're going a long ways this time.
You are.
Yeah.
I just have to throw it in just because I don't know why I am so obsessed with the Ides of March.
But yeah.
Like Beware
Yep.
the Ides of March.
Julius Caesar. We teach it in 10th grade. No, that's very appropriate.
I knew that you would get it.
Yes.
And frequently when I say beware the Ides of March, I cannot tell you how many people don't know what I'm talking about, or like, why is that funny? And I recognize
Look it up,
that you
guys.
said March
William Shakespeare.
14th. It's a day early.
So close.
But you're going to be experiencing the Ides of March while you're traveling, which is
Yes.
even more reason to beware them.
Yes.
You know, in my opinion.
Yes. No, William Shakespeare, for those of you wondering, for those of you who know, you know. But yeah, that's a good reference, Virginia.
Alex had to learn his very first Shakespeare monologue this year. So
that's fabulous.
Yes, it was.
Good job, Alex.
Yeah, that language is so different in terms of memorization. It, I think, was a challenge for Alex that
Absolutely.
he definitely rose to the challenge. Siva ko, as we like to say here.
Siva ko, Alex. No, I'm working on that with my freshmen right now. We're just finishing Romeo and Juliet, and we did the sonnets and the introduction to Shakespeare. So no, Alex and I could have our whole podcast about this. Something to look into, Virginia.
I'll let him know.
Okay. I'm sure he'll jump right on that.
He'll be like, oh.
No, thank you.
All right. So we've been teasing it. Where are you headed, Elizabeth?
We are headed to Hawaii. And we are going to share our time among the islands. We're going to Kauai, and I'm very excited to, share about that with the listeners because there are some Disney connections to Kauai, actually. But then we're also going to go to Aulani, which is what I'm really here for, because I'm so excited to share about Aulani, which they call it Aulani, a Disney resort and spa, with the listeners, and we're very, very excited for that.
Have you ever been to Hawaii before?
We have. This will actually be our third time there. Pat and I were very fortunate to be able to go on our honeymoon when we were in college students, but just were so fortunate to have family who had property there. So all we had to cover, which we basically was the airline tickets, which wasn't inexpensive, but we scrounged up the funds and were able to enjoy that. And then we since took Hope and Dean back about 4 years ago to Kauai, but this will be their first visit to Oahu, and they actually don't know that we're going to Aulani. So we're trying to figure out when we're going to share that with them because they are going to be very excited.
So trying to figure out when you're going to share that with them, how you're going to share that with them.
Right.
Have you ever... And forgive me if you were on a podcast trip report and had this experience, but have you ever surprised them with something like this before?
I don't think I've ever shared that with you or the listeners because I don't know that we've really, I think, well, there may have been one summer Disney trip where we got them in the car and held out until that moment to tell them. I think there was one. Guess where we're going? But here's the thing. We love Disney so much and we go often enough that we were in the car with our suitcase headed to the airport and they were excited, but they were like, Disney World? So it wasn't a huge shock. But I think this one will be surprising and they certainly don't know as much about Aulani. So I think in the surprise, my wheels are turning about how to give them some context and how to make learning about it fun.
Right.
So I can see us being in Hawaii, in Kauai, and me sharing something with them to kind of build up their anticipation.
So they don't know you're going to Aulani, but they do know you're going to Hawaii overall.
That's correct. They have had a paper chain countdown to Hawaii going for a long, long time, and it's getting shorter and shorter. So they know that we're going to Kauai where they've been before, and they're absolutely ecstatic about it. My parents and my sister are actually joining us in Kauai. So I'm very excited about that, and they're excited about that. But so yes, the kids know about Kauai. They do not know that we're going to Oahu to visit the Disney property there.
Okay, so I also went to Hawaii on my honeymoon, and it's the only time that I have gone, and we visited Oahu, Maui, and the Big Island.
Yes.
And so I did not make it over to Kauai. So what can you tell me it is unique? Like I know they have many things in common across the islands, but what's
Yes.
unique about that one?
Yes, I would love to share that with you, and I'm so glad you asked because I took some notes because I was like, I hope I get to give the listeners just an overall picture of this particular island too, because I do think it pairs well for anybody curious about going to Aulani. So Kauai is known as the Garden Island of
Mhm.
Hawaii, so it's known for just being really like lush and rainforesty and very
Mhm.
tropical. It's famous for the Napoli coast, which is featured in a lot of movies, actually, including Jurassic Park. So if anyone's ever seen
Oh,
Jurassic Park, they filmed in Kauai. So
okay.
Kauai is the fourth largest island. So all of those islands that you just mentioned, Virginia,
Mhm.
are just a little bit bigger than Kauai.
Mhm.
So of the 8 Hawaiian islands, I believe, yeah, Kauai is kind of right in the middle size wise behind the big island, Maui and Oahu.
Very cool. So, how did you decide where to stay on Kauai? Because you've been there before.
Yes. Yes. So when we were in college, just married and fortunate enough to have some extended family who had property there,
Mhm.
they drew us to that property in Kauai, and it's the same property we've been going back to. So it's a place
Okay.
called Kuhio Shores, and our family no longer has property there. So now that Pat and I have jobs and are full grown adults, we are financing that. But it's a place called Kuhio Shores, and it's a beautiful condominium complex on the ocean. And so the unit we're staying in is a 2-bedroom. So he and I will have a room. Hope and Dean will have a room. There's a kitchen. Eating out in Hawaii is incredibly expensive, and groceries aren't
Mhm.
cheap either. But we're going to be a little more economical by cooking when we can and doing
Mhm.
breakfast, and lunch in our unit. And my parents and sister have a unit in the same complex. So we're really looking forward to that.
How close is this unit to the ocean?
Oh, 30 feet.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not so, I think, I've never been to Maui. I've been
Mhm.
to Waikiki Beach in Honolulu, but Kauai is, at least where we're staying, not like a sandy walk right in kind of beach space. It's rocky.
Mhm.
And so it's not like we're gonna just like wade into the ocean from where we're at. It's like I
Mhm.
said, it's just very rocky, not super accessible in terms of just again, just like sun, just wading. But
Mhm.
what's really cool about it is there's so many sea turtles around.
Mhm.
And we're going at a time where the humpback whale population is migrating and spending extra time in Hawaii.
Oh,
So, our
cool.
experience in prior February and Marches having visited has been that we can be on our balcony and see humpback whales. So,
Wow.
we're not like laying on the sand, but we're sitting on our balcony watching whales and sea turtles, which is pretty incredible.
Sure. I or sure, should I say.
Yes.
Sorry.
I appreciate a pun.
No, I was just thinking about how there are all different kinds of beaches in
Yes.
Hawaii because when I was
Yes.
on Maui, we had sort of done both sides of the island, and I remember, um, seeing a little bit more sandy beach situation. But then
Sure.
at one point, we were on a side where there was a ton of really nice resorts. Think the big chains like Hyatt and
Yes.
Hilton and all that kind of stuff. And I don't recall there being that much sand over there. Like we took a walk on the beach and there was like not much room between us and where the water started.
Right.
So that was interesting to me. And same thing like on Oahu, the differences between like the Waikiki area and the North Shore, and
Yes.
then everything that's sort of on the western side
Yep.
of the island. It's very different.
Which makes it really incredible. The topography is
Mhm.
so varied, and of course, you have, like, volcanic, like, components of
Yeah.
that too. So just yeah, what you're gonna see in terms of sediment, in terms of surface is just really varied and really, a cool thing to experience.
Yeah. So, what dates are you in Kauai, and when do you switch over to Aulani?
Yep. So we're there Saturday to Saturday. The
Okay.
complex that we are renting through is a week long kind of condominium situation. So we're there
Mhm.
Saturday, March 14th to Saturday, March 21st. And we take a Southwest Airlines flight, which is super basically up and down
Mhm.
from Lahui in Kauai to Honolulu, Oahu on, Saturday, March 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty early in the morning at like 8:20. We arrive at 9:05 because we want to start our adventure at Aulani as soon as we can.
How are you getting to Hawaii overall? Are you also flying Southwest and are you
No.
doing are there nonstop flights?
No, no, but oh my gosh, I think if there was a nonstop flight, it would be, maybe more hours than even our kids at this age, and they're good travelers,
Mm-hmm.
bargain for. So we are actually flying United
Mm-hmm.
on our way to Hawaii. So we're leaving Omaha on Saturday, March 14th. We're flying United to Denver, 151 to 242. So we're not getting like as close to the coast as we could. It's still going to be quite a long stretch because our flight from Denver to Lahui, Hawaii is leave Denver about 3:40
Mm-hmm.
and arrive in Hawaii at 7:40, but Hawaii is 5 hours behind, so it will really feel like about 12:40 in the morning by the time we get there. So
Okay.
it's long.
Yeah, it's long, but you've got so much to look forward to
Exactly.
on that end of it. So, just while we're talking about how you're getting to and from Hawaii overall,
Yes.
like what's your flight back like?
Yes. So our flight back is on Monday, March 23rd,
Mhm.
a United again. So basically United to and from, and then just Southwest in between the islands.
Mhm.
So United to San Francisco. So we leave
Okay.
Hawaii, Oahu this time since we're coming from Aulani Monday, March 23rd at 7 a.m. So that'll be an earlier flight, but we arrive in San Francisco at 3:12, and then from San Francisco to Omaha 4:10 p.m. to 9:41. So it's a long day, but when we've done Hawaii before, our return flights have always
Mhm.
been red eyes.
Mhm.
So I'm very happy to be flying during the day because I'm sure anyone who's done a red eye would probably agree. I don't find them particularly enjoyable, especially with kids. So even though it's going to be a
Mhm.
long day, we'll still be getting back to Omaha on Monday, March 24th, or I'm
Mhm.
sorry, Monday, March 23rd. And I'll be going back to work to teaching on March 24th. But if my kids and
Wow.
husband stay home and rest, that's okay.
Wow. Okay, right back to it.
Yeah.
But hopefully you will have had such a relaxing trip
Yeah, I'll be
that
excited to share it with
yeah.
them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just, before we get into the Alani stuff, is there
Yes.
anything during the quiet portion of it that of note that you want to share? Like any
Sure.
excursions, any fun activities you're planning to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah. I'm happy to share about our whale watch because, again, I think if you go to Hawaii between January and March,
Mhm.
uh, especially in Kauai or Oahu or Maui, you should absolutely take advantage of seeing the whales. So I'm very excited about our whale watch, which is going to be on Wednesday while we're in Kauai,
Mhm.
and we are going to get there to the boats at 7:45 in the morning. So very early, but it's supposed to be just a really good time to see the whales. And I just think they're magical. So I'm really excited about that.
It's astonishing to me, and I recognize dinosaurs existed, right? They're a real
Right.
thing. They're not a hoax or anything like that.
Nope.
But when you look at the size of a whale, which, they have one here in the um, Natural History Museum,
Museum. Yeah.
it is insane to me how small we are
Yes.
in comparison.
Yes. And how like and what's amazing to me is how just like I've seen I've been fortunate enough to see whales before in their natural
Mhm.
habitat, and just how gentle, like they're so massive, but just how
Yeah.
gentle they appear too. And a lot of times, especially this time of year, they're with calves. And so it
Mm,
really is
yeah.
just so special. So yeah, it's an incredible experience, and I'm excited to have the kids experience that with us again.
Yeah. All right. Anything else about that before we jump into your Olani time?
If anybody is ever interested in Kauai, I mean, there are certainly things I recommend. We're going to visit the Kauai coffee plantation again. We're going to do a rum tasting and tour at the Kilohana
Mm.
plantation in Kauai. The Napoli Coast, again, is a very popular, beautiful destination there. So we're going to hit up those things. And the only thing besides that I would say to your listeners, Virginia, is
Mhm.
that Kauai actually served as the primary influence for Lilo and Stitch. So there's a
Wow.
little town called, and I apologize if I don't say this correctly, but Hanapepe.
Uh-huh.
and it's known for its like plantation style architecture and local art galleries. And they have this really special Lilo and Stitch mural because they recognize that they were such an influence for that original movie. And so they just
Mm-hmm.
also have some galleries and some shops that are dedicated to Lilo and Stitch. So I feel like it'll be kind of a fun Disney inspired, but more authentic kind of Disney experience in that particular town. So I've never been there before, but I'm really excited to visit that with the kids.
Oh, that's really cool. And I'm gonna say, because listeners, I'm not a Stitch fan. I
Yes, I
will
was thinking that.
say that this is the one circumstance where I feel like I could get into it.
Yes, like you're in his home, Virginia. You're on
Right.
his terrain. It's very special.
Yes, exactly. And it just feels, yeah, special is the right word for it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's so much Stitch out there.
Yes.
And I don't know why I just sounded a little bit Canadian. Um, but it's a lot. And for a character that I'm not that crazy about, it really feels like a lot.
Sure.
But I would welcome the opportunity to go there and get to see where he grew up or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever
Where
you
he
say. Like
landed, I
like
don't
how
know. Yeah.
old was he when he landed?
Right.
We don't know, but
Right.
um anyway, that's
Yeah.
really really exciting.
I'm excited to share it with you guys.
All right, so let's get into Aulani. So I think most Disney fans, particularly those of us who are DVC members in particular,
Yes.
are very interested in Aulani. I
Yes.
will definitely be going there at some point, not sure when. So tell me a little bit about what you are looking forward to the most and what is drawing you to that
Yes.
resort.
Well, I think what's drawing us there is the fact that we're going to Hawaii, right? And like you
Mhm.
said, for Disney fans, for Disney resort fans, and to your point, especially DVC fans, we are still not DVC members, which I know is I don't know. Are we holding out? Should we do it? I don't know, but I
It's only gonna get
absolutely,
more
yeah,
expensive the longer you
right.
wait.
Right. So I absolutely understand the intrigue. And I just think if
Yeah.
you've crossed the country and crossed the ocean to get to
Mhm.
Hawaii as Disney fans, we just said we have to go. Like we have to
Right.
experience that. We have to cross it off the proverbial bucket list.
Mhm.
So that's what we're doing. So that being said, I've kind of shared this with you and your listeners before. Pat and I are very plan B or I'm sorry, type B planners. So
Mhm.
we did not get on this as soon as I wish we would have because I was hoping to be able to go through like a David's DVC or a DVC rental shop to get a
Mhm.
DVC room, and we were just too late to the game.
Mhm.
All of those companies were super kind to us and trying to work with us with what they had, but just at the time we tried booking through them a couple months ago
Right.
over spring break. What they had was very little in terms of inventory. So we
Mhm.
ended up going through Aulani directly, but we still actually are going to be in a DVC room.
Mhm.
So we're going to be in a DVC studio room, and so we were just able to work it out. And again, to your question, what drew us was just the fact that we are going to be in Hawaii and we are big Disney fans, so we had to see Aulani.
Mhm. And my understanding is that even Native Hawaiians,
Mhm.
is that what I
Yes,
should
I think
s
so.
like, for some reason, Hawaiian, I don't know, it struck me as, like, is this the right word?
Yeah.
Um, are really appreciative of how much Joe Rohde
Oh,
and the
yes.
Disney team honored their culture, their
Yes.
history, and so I think from that standpoint, even somebody it seems to me as somebody who's not been there yet, it
Right.
seems to me that even somebody who's not a Disney fan would really enjoy going to Aulani simply because from everything you hear, they got it right
Mhm.
compared to most other resorts.
Absolutely. I think that's exactly what I've heard and read as well is that led by Joe Rohde, which your listeners will
Mhm.
know is like this legendary Imagineer responsible for Animal Kingdom and so many amazing things that we enjoy in the parks, was so intentional about, like you
Mhm.
said, getting the Hawaiian culture and influence right and respecting it
Right.
in a way that I think comes across as really beautiful and really authentic. And in fact, I wrote down that from what I've read and learned, it's a lot of Hawaii with magical Disney touches. So it
Mm-hmm.
feels more Hawaii than Disney, but
Yes.
Disney fans who visit will appreciate the influence they see.
Right. Okay. Do you have two DVC studios for the group of you?
That's a good thing to clarify. So we're gonna be in Kauai with my parents and sister, and they
Mm-hmm.
actually are traveling to Oahu with us, but they're gonna be on Waikiki Beach and visiting Pearl Harbor.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is another amazing experience, but one that we would actually like to give our kids a few more years for. So we are going to Aulani, just the four of us. So we're going to be in a DVC studio, just the four of us. We'll have a queen bed and a queen pull-out
Mm-hmm.
couch. So my parents and sister will not be joining us at Aulani. It'll be just us.
Okay. Very good to know.
Yes.
Are you doing any sort of excursions while you're at Aulani? Any
We're
planned
actually
activities?
Yeah, Aulani has a lot of really amazing excursions, available to guests, but we are just gonna be there for the 2 days, so we are
Mm-hmm.
going to soak up truly just what the resort has to offer, and I have a whole list of things to share with you guys that we're looking forward to on property, so we're not planning on, with the exception of maybe one happy hour dinner that I'm excited to tell you guys about, we're not
Mm-hmm.
planning on venturing off property.
Okay. What other kind of things do you want to share with us about Aulani that you're thinking about? Whether it's the restaurant, whether it's the room setup, anything like that.
Oh my gosh. Well, I am envisioning arriving there. I've read that Aluber. Okay, listeners, that is a combination between Lyft and Uber. If anyone would
Uh-huh.
like to adopt that.
I'm gonna start
Um,
using that. Did you get a Luber?
oh my
Wait,
gosh.
no. I take that back. Now that I've said that out loud, I am
I don't
not
know if we
that.
like that.
This suddenly became an adult podcast.
Uh-huh, things I wouldn't repeat in front of the high schoolers. That goes on the list.
Right.
I've heard that a Lyft Uber from the airport to Aulani is about 25 minutes. So
Hmm.
best case scenario, maybe we're getting there about 9:30, 9:45. And much like a Disney resort, our room is not guaranteed to be ready until later that afternoon. But
Hmm.
from, again, what I've read, what I've listened to, Aulani is very thoughtful about that and has
Hmm.
actually a really lovely lounge that you can go into and get into your swimsuit, just kind of get settled, whatever you
Hmm.
need, check in your bag. So I'm picturing getting there and being just blown away by the ambiance and the environment and the lobby. And then I have learned about the Menehune Adventure Trail,
Hmm.
which kind of reminds me, I've talked about this on your podcast, of the Wilderness Explorers Adventure Trail at Animal Kingdom.
Hmm.
And especially since it's Joe Rohde influenced, I wouldn't be surprised if that feels kind of familiar, but it's supposed to be very interactive. So you
Hmm.
basically go to their family community hall and check out an iPad, and your kids take it around the property. And I just think it would be a great way to learn about the property and walk around and experience some of what it has to offer.
That sounds amazing.
I know. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about just getting in, and the place that we're staying in Kauai doesn't have a pool.
Hmm.
So oh my gosh, the Aulani pools, water slides, lazy river,
Yeah, it's like a
hot
water
tubs.
park.
Like, oh my gosh, it just looks incredible. So
Hmm.
it's impossible to be beached out and have enough beach, but I can just see us really using more the pools there and enjoying that. So probably as soon as we can get to those,
Hmm.
that'll be something we're enjoying. They do have pin trading there, and I've
Hmm.
told you before that my kids, I think in the last podcast I said they're not professional pin traders, just to
Uh-huh.
clarify, but they do really enjoy it. So we're going to take their pins and
Hmm.
they're going to do that. And there's characters that we're excited to see. And I don't
Hmm.
know, I could go on and on, Virginia. So stop me when you're ready. And I'm happy to tell you about the restaurants I'm looking forward to. But I think there are a lot of things right away that I'll just be really excited to jump into.
Yeah, I will very much look forward to, in particular, seeing maybe some photos of some of the
Yes.
unique pins you're able to find there,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I'm not a pin trader myself. I get one if I stay at a new resort, and then occasionally I see one I like and I grab it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I'm just not doing that. But I love to look at pins. Like I could stand in the pin store in Magic Kingdom and just stand and look at each and every pin and not be bored at all.
I
So
agree. Yes,
Yeah, so if you
absolutely.
see any really unique ones that you think we should see, take a photo for us, please.
Ooh, okay. This is a
Yeah,
fun mission. Thank you.
yeah.
Accepted.
Okay, so what else should we talk about
Yeah.
before we wrap this up?
Yeah. There are so many amazing, obviously, dining experiences there that I think
Mm-hmm.
anybody who's planning on being there longer should
Mm-hmm.
absolutely investigate. We thought about doing the luau there.
Mm-hmm.
We decided not to just because we have done a luau before. And I think in our condensed amount of time, there's just going to be enough other things that we want to do that we didn't want to commit to that fully. But it looks amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
I am excited about the Olelo room. And I'll tell you guys hopefully about that when I return. But Olelo, I believe, is Hawaiian for language. And it's supposed to be just a really beautiful, like cocktail lounge, but accessible to families as well, where it's all about Hawaiian language.
Hmm.
And again, so excited to share more about that with you guys once I experience it. But it just looks like it's a good place to go for things we enjoy. They have kids meals, but there's also a lot of sushi and just different appetizers and accoutrements and
Mm-hmm.
cocktails. So I think that's where we're actually going to have dinner. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
most expensive dining there by any means, but it
Mm-hmm.
looks like it's still going to be really fun and immersive. So I'm looking forward to
Are you going to get your fill of Dole Whip in a place
that.
where you are so close to the source?
Yes, I am so excited to do the Dole Whip, and I am so excited to do the Mickey Ears shaved ice. So those are the two
Yes.
authentic Hawaiian snacks that I'm looking forward to experiencing with a Disney, sprinkle of magic.
Have you had shave ice before on your trips to Hawaii?
Yes, and in fact, prior listeners might know my daughter Hope. When Hope
Mm-hmm.
talks about Hawaii and the things she remembers from 4 years ago, shaved ice is at the top of her list. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to share that with her at Aulani.
It is so different than anything I have ever had here in the US.
Yes,
There's
yes.
something about how finely they shave it.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
not
trying
a
to find the
snow
word.
cone. It's not a snow cone.
No,
It's
not
not,
at
and
all.
it really is hard to describe, hard to put into words for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's strangely enough, like when you say the word snow as
Yeah,
a part of the word snow cone,
right.
it is very fine, like the
Hmm.
consistency of actual snow, but totally unlike what you think of as a traditional snow cone
Yeah,
here in the US.
yeah.
And it just melts so quickly in your mouth and the
Yes.
flavors and oh,
Yes,
I
and
still think
could
about that.
yes, and could anything be cuter than that, but in Mickey ear
Mickey
shape? I think
ears.
it's gonna be
Yes.
great.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I wouldn't give for a mango shave ice
Ooh,
right
and they
now.
have so many
Mm.
flavors. I just like I know I
Yes.
probably need to decide, like, I feel like I might have some anxiety,
Yeah.
standing at that snack booth,
Mhm.
trying to figure out my flavors, so I might need to pre-plan that.
I mean, there's 24 hours in a day, Elizabeth.
Oh, but we're gonna be so busy, Virginia.
If you try hard enough, you can get there multiple times a day.
Yeah, that's a good goal too.
All right. So, I keep saying anything else, but like with a trip like this where there's not specific day, you
Right,
know, days that you're thinking about for like, oh yeah, we're going to the Magic Kingdom on this day.
right.
Um, yeah, I'll just let you share anything else you want to share.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard people compare Alani. Definitely different than the Disney parks, but I've heard people compare Alani to a Disney cruise experience more, and I find that
Yeah.
really compelling, but I understand it, and you
Mhm.
obviously you just had, Disney cruise guests on the
Mhm.
podcast, and it definitely is just more it's still Disney, but it's so much more relaxed and go with the
Mhm.
flow, and I say that as a person that loves the, busyness, so to speak, of the parks,
Mhm.
but yeah, just a different experience, so come what may.
Yeah, I've also heard it described as a cruise
Yeah,
on land.
yeah.
And I think for just having interviewed people who have gone to Hilton Head before, shout out to the
Mhm.
Benfields,
Yeah.
it seems like that, but like times 100.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
I'm so excited for you guys.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
gonna be
so
so much
excited
fun.
to report back because yeah, there's oh my gosh, I could tell you more about the snacks that I'm excited about, or I could tell you about
Mhm.
Auntie's Beach House, and maybe I should mention that really quick.
Please do.
So
Yes.
Auntie's Beach House is a very unique offering, kind of akin to the
Mhm.
Disney Cruise Line Kids Club. So
Mhm.
it was 40, whatever, at this point, 40-ish days ago, but
Mhm.
45 days prior to your arrival. And I did this at like 4 o'clock in the morning because it had to be done right at midnight Hawaii time. I could
Mhm.
register the kids for Auntie's Beach Club. And again, it's their equivalent of a cruise kids club. So they can go and characters visit their crafts, their games, their activities.
Mhm.
But if you get them registered right away,
Mhm.
which again was the 4 a.m. thing, then it's 90 minutes of complimentary childcare essentially at the Aulani Resort through Auntie's Beach Club. So
Mhm.
we got them in and we got them registered. And 5 minutes after the time that it opened, all the spots were filled. So it truly
Wow.
is, yes, a very like on demand. If you want the complimentary version of that, which there are three
Uh-huh.
sessions or three offerings a day, you have to get right on it, but we did. And I'm really excited. I think the kids will have a blast. I
Mhm.
think that's when Pat and I will visit the Wailana pool, which is adults only,
Uh-huh.
for an hour and a half. So we're doing that both days we're there. I was able to get
Mhm.
spots. So I'm really excited about that and excited to hear about the kids' experience.
That is amazing that they offer that complimentary. Because
Yes.
I feel like they could be charging a lot of money for
And they
it.
do. They have sessions that are, considered quote unquote premium experiences, and they probably
Mhm.
are offering elevated activities. But
Mhm.
those are like $64 a kid. And again,
Mhm.
if you get your kid registered for these complimentary quote unquote themed experiences at Auntie's Beach House, then it is free. But I just think you
Mhm.
have to be ready, kind of like experiences at the parks, to get
Mhm.
right on it to get the spot that you want,
Right.
to have that available to you.
Yeah. No, that's when you were saying that, I was thinking this sounds like signing up for a Run Disney
Right.
experience.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Like you just don't have a lot of time. You have to be
Right.
prepared. You have to be proactive. And
Mhm.
again, as type B planners, this was something we were really on. I'm very proud of us.
Uh-huh. Well done.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is there anything that Pat in particular is really looking forward to for
Ooh,
this?
that's a good question. Besides the Wailana pool adult experience,
Mhm.
um, he is when we've done beach vacations before, he's really enjoyed paddle boarding,
Mhm.
and Alani offers fitness classes as part of their I believe they call it the daily Iwa, which, kind of
Mhm.
like a Disney resort activity schedule. It just kind of shows you what's offered and what's offered when, and their fitness offerings are a part of that. And they have fitness classes that are like paddleboard classes where you go out onto their lagoon and take a paddleboard fitness class. And when I mentioned that to him, he thought it sounded really awesome. So I could see a world in which we go down to the beach early and the kids and I hang out and wave at
Mhm.
him while he's doing his paddleboard fitness class.
Is this that stand-up paddleboard
Yes.
that they
Yes.
okay, they abbreviate it SUP, which I always think is funny, like
Oh,
SUP.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I I have heard, you will not catch me doing that, that is very challenging.
Yes. Oh, I just think it's like a whole body strength
Yes.
resistance exercise.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
for
I
him.
mean, stand by. I'll report back on whether he does it or
But
not.
good for
But
him for being willing to do it.
yes,
I mean,
yes,
I'd be
yes.
like, yeah, are you doing yoga? I'll do yoga."
Exactly, right. Yeah, they have a lot of offerings. And one
Mhm.
other thing that I'm excited if it works out while we're there is it's called the Shaka Shaka pool party, where
Mhm.
like Mickey and the gang come out and lead like a pool party at their main pool. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to see if that works out for us too.
I hope it does. You've learned about all these things through
Yes.
various sources.
Yes.
So I will ask that if you have any in particular that you were turning to that you would like to share with us, that you could email me some links and
Yeah.
I could put them in the show notes for other people who might be
Yeah.
working on planning
Yep,
an Aulani trip.
absolutely. As an English teacher, I absolutely endorse citing your sources. So thank
Uh-huh.
you for offering that.
Uh-huh. All right. I think we have everything we need. All we need you to do is go off and have a fantastic time.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah. So travel safely.
Thank you.
And I hope you have just the best time ever. And I absolutely cannot wait to hear about this.
Thank you. I'm so excited to share it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much to Elizabeth for being part of the podcast yet again. Listeners, make sure you head to the next episode up in your Where I Long to Be podcast queue because the post-trip report is waiting for you there. Thank you all for continuing to tune in and for sharing the show with friends. It really does make a difference, and I am so excited to see how much the show will continue to grow over the next year. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's thanks to you that I keep pushing forward. It really is. And with that, I'll leave you all to keep daydreaming about where you long to be.